Okay, so I want to film an update. Mostly what I've been working on the past couple days has been some quality improvements. Yeah, so for example, I think some of the bugs that I mentioned last time, I've addressed them all. So let's see. Actually, I found a bug that I hadn't even noticed when testing, but like the messages in the conversation history were being duplicated when being sent to LangGraph because of the way that um, the code was using a check pointer, like to use LangGraph's like built-in persistence, but like I didn't really want to use that. I wanted to make LangGraph as stateless as possible, and so like I pass in the conversation history each time into LangGraph, uh, but then the check pointer was like saving the conversation like history as well, and so it was like exponentially increasing with duplicated messages on each turn. So anyways, realized that that was wrong and removed that. Um, let's see. Was also having issues with like the responses from uh, the LLMs containing the wrong format due to prompting the LLM with I was using JSON like along with um, like the each message's content plus the like the sender information so that the LLM can know which agent said what. And I was doing that with JSON, but then even though like I didn't want the LLM to respond in that format, and I tried to make that very clear in the prompting, at one point or another, it would always revert back to like imitating like the JSON formatting of the message conversation, like the conversation history. And so that was really annoying. I ended up like, I mean, the reason that I didn't want to, yeah, use structured output. I didn't want the LLM to return structured output. Is like I want to be able to like just have like want to be able to stream the output. Didn't want to have to wait to like didn't want to have to worry about parsing like partial responses as it's streamed and stuff, and um, just wanted to keep it as simple as possible. And so what I ended up doing was just like scrapping the JSON representation and just like using simple labels before each message. And that still resulted in the LLM like including their name, um, like a label with their name before the response in each response. But then I ended up doing some pre-filling or like basically just like in the conversation history, I would end it with one message from that the agent that's responding, like with a message that just includes their name in the label, so that they wouldn't do it um, themselves in the response. So that seems to have worked. So, anyways, I did that, and then another bug I fixed, or I mean, just slight, uh, like small quality of life change was when you join the voice conversation. Like, I mean, I'll just show you real quick. Yeah, if you join a conversation, you see how it's like blurry here. Okay, so I don't want it to respond
Right
right now,
here.
but okay. So previously it was just yeah. So I have a blur and like a spinner to indicate that the user's connecting, but previously it would only show until the user was connected to the call, which was uh, like pretty instantaneous. But then if the user spoke before the agents were actually connected themselves and ready to respond, nobody, I mean, there wouldn't be a response. And so I extended the animation to like, uh, persist until the agents are actually ready to respond. So another small, um, uh, uh, yeah, small change there. Also, I was getting like a 400 um, occasionally, not every time, but like, um, yeah, it turns out, yeah, I was just, for some reason, some of the AI like model providers in their API don't handle or like the name property uh, that you can set in the message object in LangGraph is only handled by some models or by some like AI provider APIs, and like would lead to like 400 errors if it wasn't it didn't follow a certain syntax or something, but or a certain regex. I just removed that, and I mean we don't. That's unnecessary anyways. Like um, not all the AI providers like support a name property, and also it seemed like they I don't even know how they were being used. Like I ended up just having um, the names like included in the messages themselves with that previously with the JSON and now with the label. But yeah, just removing that unnecessary parameter just fixed the issue, and then I just also added like automatic like session title generation. So you can see here, I started. So like after a couple of messages, it'll automatically give like a brief title to the session. So that's nice. Yeah, but those are some updates, and I guess I could just kind of. Oh, and the main one is like, yeah. So I've been trying to improve the quality of the voice session, the voice mode, and like, yeah, I implemented it, and I've spent like a decent amount of time the past couple of weeks improving the voice mode. The yeah latest changes that I made were just um, yeah, it was pretty unreliable with like interruptions, and if the user had gaps in their speech, there were some race conditions having to do with canceling the previous stream from LangGraph and creating another stream. Just a bunch of race conditions that I kind of like dug into a little bit uh, more deeply and was able to like resolve. And so yeah, I mean, I think we can just kind of like I'll just do this the same scenario that I talked about last time. Like I'm into language learning. I haven't practiced French in like I don't know, maybe like 2 years. And so I will create a session just like last time where I will be talking with a French speaking conversational partner, and then we'll have a tutor in the session as well. And so I'll add Pierre, my French speaking partner, and then Professeur Camille. And apologies in advance for my uh, crappy French. Bonjour, comment ça va?
Bonjour, ça va bien, merci. Et toi, comment ça va?
Ça va bien, merci. Maintenant, je suis en train de record une démonstration pour mon startup. Um, and yeah, again, apologies for my uh, French. Oh shoot, why is this? Okay, actually, okay. So this uncovered another bug right now. What seems to be happening is like, all right, it's a little inefficient right now. So interruptions are supported. Um, and I found that it's pretty robust, but every time there's like uh, a delay and the user speaks again, it's like saved as an additional message. And for each user message, there is um, another LangGraph run that's kicked off. And I mean, I don't know if, I mean, as you probably saw, oh, what's going on here?
Bonjour, tu t'appelles comment?
Okay, hold up. Interesting. Another model showed up. I don't even know what that was. Don't know what could have happened there, but let me try this again. Let's see what happens here. Bonjour, comment ça va?
Bonjour, ça va bien, merci. Et toi, comment ça va?
Ça va bien. Maintenant, je suis en train de record une démonstration de pour ma startup. Yeah, I gotta get back to practicing French. Okay, but all right. Once again, I'm running into this issue. All right, yeah. So I think let me look at some of the logs, but yeah. So what happened is this seems to happen when there are too many instructions, and like when the user's query is split up into a lot of different uh, messages instead of one single message. And I noticed that what happened was like sometimes a single call to one of the uh, like model APIs would result in hmm, um, like a long latency for some reason. Okay, but actually it seems like the issue here is that okay. Actually, okay. I see what the issue here is. Actually, it's technically not a bug, but something that can be improved. Um, so what I understood here, I'm gonna show the transcript. Uh, Wait, did this refresh properly? Dang it. Okay. All right. So what I see in LangGraph is that it seems like I said, "Ça va bien. Maintenant, je suis en train de record une démonstration de." Okay, and there's a follow-up message. Uh, pour... Wait. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, there's some issues here where basically some chunks of the query got sent separately, or like, imagine if I say, "Hi, my name is Jorge," with those pauses in between each word, basically like my will kick off a run in LangGraph, then my name will kick off a run, then my name is will kick off another run, and that's not efficient. But that shouldn't affect the latency or whatever. Turns out it's not latency. It seems like because like it it seems like I'm just giving individual words. Like the AIs are actually they have a low eagerness to respond since I guess they uh, aren't being addressed directly and like it's not super clear um, what I'm trying to say. And so uh, I think I wanna I think LiveKit should have a very simple way to like modify like the amount of time given uh, before the amount of time that it waits before actually processing the input. So maybe this tells me that we should increase it a little bit. It's going to be a little annoying though, like because when the user is finally done talking, that'll add like additional latency before kicking off the run in LangGraph, which is not ideal. Um, Something I could do is just immediately like, all right, in order to not, yeah, to be a little more efficient, we could probably, yeah, like cancel the run in LangGraph like immediately, so it doesn't whatever. So at least we don't have to worry about like several runs going on in parallel for no reason. But another issue that I see here is it seems like in some cases, um, Let's see. Yeah, in some cases, there were some messages that were missing when being sent to LangGraph. Okay, anyways, I'll look into this, but let me just try to do just one demo. Or let me keep it simple instead of putting together long sentences with a bunch of gaps in them. Ça va bien, merci. Et toi? Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Hello? Est-ce que tu m'écoutes? Pierre, est-ce que tu m'écoutes? Réponds, s'il te plaît. All right, so that's annoying. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, actually, wait, no, I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm looking at the logs, and it seems like for some reason, uh, both AIs are giving a low eagerness score to respond. Okay, so let's try this again. Pierre, est-ce que tu m'écoutes? Hello, can anybody hear me right now? Hello, can anybody hear me right now? Please respond. Yeah, so right now the way that I have it is in order for an AI to respond, so I give the models a prompt where they decide how eager they are to respond. And if it's over a certain threshold, I then like I select the model that is most eager to respond and they give their response and we stream it. Um, for some reason right now they are just don't want to talk. They have scores that are underneath the thresholds. So okay. Um, let's come on, man. Okay, my keyboard's disconnected. All right, but if it's thinking here and if it responds in text mode, but not in voice mode, what is going? Also, why is it taking so long? These are just okay. It's not responding. These are using 4.0. It should be super fast, and it has been super fast. What the? Let's see. What the heck is going on? Ooh, you know what? I wonder if. All right, so something that has become a realization when trying to figure out the right prompt here and how to pass in the message history is that, I mean, these are LLMs. they try to predict the next token based on, the input. And I noticed with, if you provide all the message history in JSON, you can try to like um, ask the LLM as much as possible not to provide it in that same format, but it's not gonna listen to you at some point. It's gonna, like, you can call it out when it provides the output in the same JSON as the message history, uh, and it might listen to you for a couple turns, but eventually, at least with my prompting, I didn't, you know, go super deep into it, but uh, it, I feel like, yeah, um, the inputs obviously, like it, um, have a big impact on the output, and it recognizes pattern, obviously, but if it recognizes patterns, and I'm wondering if it's seeing that the user has multiple messages in a row where the AI does not respond. I wonder if maybe that is making it so that the LLM is less eager to respond because it didn't respond over here. So I'm wondering if that's maybe the case. I'm gonna try to be uh, super forceful. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that did it. Geez. All right, let's try to talk now. Oh. Pierre, de qu'est-ce que tu veux parler?
Tu t'appelles comment?
Je m'appelle Jorge. Je m'appelle Jorge.
Great start. Just remember to complete the sentence. Je m'appelle, your name. My name is your name. Continuing with Pierre.
Pierre, je m'appelle Jorge.
Bonjour Georges, tu habites où?
J'habite à New York. J'ai habité à New York depuis 4 ans, depuis 2021.
Super. New York est une grande ville. Qu'est-ce que tu aimes faire à New York?
À New York, j'aime faire beaucoup de choses. J'aime marcher pour, euh, par Central Park, et j'aime euh, ride sur le métro et manger beaucoup de nourriture délicieuse.
Qu'est-ce que tu manges de délicieux aujourd'hui?
Aujourd'hui, j- j'a- j'ai mangé chez moi. J'ai mangé un repas de nourriture tibétaine parce que la mère de ma fiancée m'a préparé euh, une, une- un repas très délicieux. Okay, it's thinking for a long time again. I don't know. Okay, I'm assuming. Let's see. Okay, so uh, refreshing the line graph logs. Seems like it takes a bit for the logs to show up, but I think the problem here is, once again, for some reason they don't want to respond. Maybe because they've seen through the conversation history. What? I was gonna say it seems like maybe they're not responding because the fact that there are several messages in a row that the user speaks without a response from the AI leads to them recognizing a pattern and trying to replicate it where the agents are not responding. But on top of that, I'm not even seeing my messages persisted to the database. So, all right, I will have to look into this and debug. But uh, yeah, I mean, I see the line graph runs for each of my messages, but they weren't persisted to the database. So, uh, okay, all right, okay. And so what I noticed is that hmm, it seems like instead of, you know, like, okay, so look here. It seems like there were several messages that are missing here. I said more stuff here. Okay. Maybe that's just like the first couple words of each segment not being caught by live kits. So I got to look at that. But I was going to say the last statement that I said had multiple words, but instead of seeing multiple runs for word one and then word one and two and then word one, two, and three, I'm seeing some that have like just word four and then a run for that, like uh, that. So like the message history that's passed in has all the previous messages up to like and including the thing that the last thing that the agent said, and then only includes like the fourth out of the next like five messages that I said that were cut into that were cut up into chunks. So that's a interesting issue. Um, so yeah, I'll have to look into that. But wait a minute. Why? Wait a minute. Oh, I think this is an old version that's deployed right now. What? How? Let me see. Let's see. Oh wait, no, never mind. Never mind. We're good. We're good. All right, so it is just a bug. All right. Well, anyways, that was a run through of updates that I made and where we're at with the voice mode. Um, Man, I was not having issues when I was testing it, but now I am running into issues. All right, let's do one more. Let's just do uh, flagship models. Actually, no. Mm, let's do startup kickoff. All right, guys. So I'm thinking about creating a startup, and I want it to be basically I'm creating a subscription service where once a week you get a care package filled with a bunch of platypus related merch. Please, let's talk about how I will obviously make this a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, let's talk about strategy though. All right, let's see what they say. These are all using GPT-5. That's the default. So it might take a bit. I think it probably makes sense to.
A multi-billion outcome won't
Okay.
come from a store. It has to be an IP and distribution platform with a just-in-time, data-led supply chain that turns social trend signals into personalized products in days. You'd need a sharp wedge, audience, unique IP or manufacturing advantage, build defensibility via data network effects, subscriptions, licensing, and then expand into retail pipes and digital twins/skins. Which wedge do you actually have right now? A multi-billion outcome from merch only happens with a true wedge, massive own demand, ownable IP, or a quantifiable speed to market or manufacturing edge. Otherwise, it's a commoditized, low-margin slog. Which of those do you actually have proof for today? For example, audience size, engagement,
Look.
IP
I don't.
licensing.
Hey, I don't need proof. I believe in this idea. I know that it's a multi-billion dollar. Hey, it might be a trillion-dollar idea. Like, just look. That's what I believe, and I know it. Like, let's just get there. Come on. All right, let's see what they say to that.
I love the urgency, but momentum without a clearly defined there is a gamble.
Come on.
In one sentence, describe the world you want to exist in 24 months. Who benefits, what changes, and a metric that proves it. Then, I can help you work backward into 3 concrete milestones you would need to hit.
What the heck? This must be an issue with DeepGram.
Momentum toward a fuzzy
Oh,
there
sorry.
is just expensive wandering. State
OpenAI's
one falsifiable outcome and
TTS,
one
not
kill
DeepGram.
metric. What
DeepGram is
result in
for
90 days
SDT.
would prove you're wrong and trigger a pivot?
Let's lock it. In 24 months, will new behavior outcome proven by quant metric. For the next 90 days, success is leading indicator target and kill pivot if threshold not met or unit economics guardrail is breached. Paste your filled-in version and I'll turn it into 3 concrete milestones you would need to hit.
Define there in cash terms. Who pays, how much, through which channel, expected CAC, gross margin, and payback. Your 24-month
I don't know how
metric
this is gonna
should be
work.
positive.
Look. I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't know how this is gonna work, but I just know that it is gonna work. Now it's up to you guys to figure out how to get there. Okay, so stop complaining. Let's just get to it. Okay, how do we do it? Let's see what they come up with.
Belief isn't a plan. We pressure test it in a week, pick the riskiest assumption, run a fake door or concierge MVP, and set a single success metric for go, no go. Visionary founder, what's the one non-negotiable user outcome we're delivering?
Sometimes I get stuck with the TTS.
Skeptical financier, what minimum metric makes this worth funding?
Minimum bar, CAC payback equals 3 months on contribution margin, evidenced by at least 10 cold acquired customers paying full price and 1 month retention strong enough to imply LTV CAC equals 3. If that can't be hit on a small test budget, we don't fund further.
Non-negotiable user outcome. First session delivers a concrete 10x win on their core job, result in under 5 minutes that users are willing to prepay for. The test. A 7-day fake door with upfront payment and 24-hour concierge fulfillment, targeting 10 cold paid at full price and at least 2 repeat orders that week to proxy retention, with CAC tracked to hit less than 3-month payback. Miss those and we kill or pivot.
Okay. So all right, that kind of shows how it works. There are a couple things that are a bit annoying. Like, so for example, it is a little annoying when it misunderstands me. Maybe, I mean, I thought about displaying the transcript in voice mode while the user speaks, so that they know what's being understood. Um, but I feel like, at least for me, I feel like it might be too much of a distraction, and like maybe sometimes you don't want the user to know what the model understood, because like the model can pick it up from context anyways, and you don't want the user to be distracted, and you don't want it to like interfere with the naturalness of the conversation flow. Um, let's see, and then just a funny uh, point. I feel like GPT. I feel like, and I feel like I got this with O3 as well, but like I feel like when you talk to OpenAI's models about starting a startup, it'll like you can have a bingo card open. It's going to mention concierge, MVP. It's going to mention go, no go. Uh, it's, I mean, like things that I guess like make sense, like, some of these like metrics and stuff, but like it definitely has a very like ChatGPT kind of vibe to it. But anyways, all right. So that was kind of just kind of wanted to give an update and kind of just like test Genla out in this demo. Uh, yeah, like try to run into bugs and like talk about them. And yeah, I just feel like I'm trying to want to get into a habit of just like hitting record and just talking, posting it, and just giving updates. So yeah, feel free to check out Genla at genla.ai, and definitely open to any feedback. Thanks.